Yeah, but my dad got out of copping and then became a food broker, which we're like, come on, that's
What?
CIA, right?
Yes.
And
food
he's like, no,
brokers.
I really am a middleman for jars of jam.
He works for Meghan Markle.
My
Really
dad-
tiny jams, harvestable jam made from the oils of Montecito.
Prince Harry, whose memoir just broke the Guinness record for fastest selling nonfiction book of all time. They're now releasing a version for kids. I don't know if you know about this. It's a twist on The Princess and the Pea. It's called The Prince and the Penis, and it's
Conan O'Brien just ripped into Meghan Markle's jam business like it was nothing. The joke landed so easy, it almost felt unfair. Meghan is out here trying to step into the lifestyle world like Martha Stewart with her fancy American Riviera orchard jam, and Conan shut it down with basically one sharp line. But that was only the warm-up, because things got way messier when Conan roasted Meghan and Prince Harry during their huge interview moment with Oprah Winfrey.
They decided to re-air all the same advertisements that they had aired here in America, but they adjusted the ads slightly for British audiences. I thought that was strange. Take a look.
Ancestry.com for the British royal family. Find out which second cousin you're accidentally dating.
Oreo biscuits. There's a black and white marriage we can all agree on.
I thought the Oreo ad was unnecessary. They didn't need to do.
The jokes came fast, ruthless, and straight to the point. No soft landing, no filter, just pure savage comedy energy. And here is where it really spins out of control, because this is not the type of situation a PR team can easily spin or smooth over. Conan even went full comedy mode by mocking their wax figures at Madame Tussauds, and he absolutely did not hold back. Then he took it further by bringing out a museum worker who explained that their figures were basically sitting in storage out of sight, which made the whole moment hit even harder. Then things turned extra strange when Conan created a wild fictional character joking about behaving inappropriately around the wax figures, and that kind of humor sticks in people's minds for a long time.
Oliver, you have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex stuff.
what?
Moments like that can shape how the public sees celebrities, whether they like it or not. The mood shifted again when Jimmy Carr stepped into the conversation and touched on a topic people usually avoid.
The problem with it is people say, oh, you know, Harry and Meghan, you should let them do whatever they want. They should be allowed to do this. People think it doesn't make any difference, but it does make a difference. Because if something terrible happened to William and Kate and the kids, right? The Queen and Charles are very old. They're going to go at some stage. And then you're left with King Andrew. No one wants that.
Is that true? Because you've got a William, then you've got a Kate, then you've got a George, then you've got... There's loads of them.
Yeah,
between.
they're one light aircraft crash away.
He mentioned the royal line of succession involving King Charles III, and what it could mean if tragic events ever affected Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. It is the kind of uncomfortable what-if scenario that makes people pause because it feels heavy and awkward to even think about. The heat kept building when Kelly Osbourne spoke openly about Harry on live television, showing just how much public perception has shifted. Her comments made it clear that many viewers feel his reputation has taken a serious hit over the years.
I think he's a twat. He's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems.
What really hits hard in her argument is the idea that massive platforms like Netflix and Spotify gave them major opportunities, strong teams, huge budgets, and worldwide attention, yet the results still disappointed many viewers. Critics argue this was not about bad timing, but about content that simply did not connect with audiences. Then Sharon Osbourne jumped into the discussion, and when she speaks, things usually get intense.
Curtsy, the thing she said about medieval times, her lunch with the Queen was like medieval times, which, as you know, is a Disney-type entertainment place for kids. And it's just so horribly disrespectful and just a wine fest.
She criticized Meghan's description of meeting the Queen, saying it sounded overly dramatic and unfair, which added even more fuel to the public debate surrounding the couple. Some body language analysts have also shared opinions over time, pointing out that the couple's constant hand-holding and frequent physical contact sometimes appears overly staged rather than natural.
Cuddly, lovey, holding hands, going everywhere together. It's so disingenuous. It's like, come on.
Critics claim it can look like they are trying too hard to prove something to cameras, which sparks even more chatter online. What makes this situation so intense is that Prince Harry grew up watching the media tear apart his parents' marriage between King Charles III and Princess Diana. He saw how dangerous it can be when private family drama turns into public entertainment. Critics now point out that he understands exactly how that spotlight works. Yet he still stepped into it again, except this time, people say he is helping sell the story himself and making deals from it. Many commentators claim this is the real issue that nobody wants to say out loud. Some believe their entire public image depends on the royal family staying famous, dramatic, and talked about non-stop. The argument is simple. If public interest in the royals fades, critics say Meghan Markle and Harry could lose a huge part of their spotlight fast.
You know what? You've got a great life. You've got a beautiful family. You're so much in love. Move on. Get a life. Move on. And they just can't seem to, because their living is by telling their truth on the royal family. That's how they make their...
According to those voices, the drama keeps their brand alive, which is why the headlines never seem to slow down. People online also talk about the long-term impact on their family. Some wonder what happens when their kids grow older and start searching their family history on the internet. One day they may learn they have extended relatives like grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins who are distant from them. Critics say explaining family distance to little ones could be emotionally complicated and heavy. Observers have also noticed what they call constant rebranding attempts. Royal duties did not work out, Hollywood production deals struggled, and podcast projects lost momentum, according to public reports.
I think they're totally lost. You know, 1 minute they're making a cartoon, then they're doing a documentary on them, now they're saving the world. They just haven't found their path in life.
Now critics say new projects like lifestyle branding and sports documentaries are facing tough reactions too. Some commentators believe audiences are tired of hearing stories centered around hardship and conflict, and they want something fresh and inspiring instead. Sharon Osbourne has said she has watched similar relationship patterns unfold many times in Hollywood. She claims some celebrity couples depend heavily on public attention and conflict to stay relevant. According to her view, those relationships often follow the same cycle, where the pressure builds until things eventually break apart, which is why critics keep asking when problems might appear instead of if they will.
It's going to end very, very badly, and I don't know why. It's like history repeating it.
Another layer of debate comes from royal tradition. Many commentators say the royal family cannot easily respond to accusations or media claims without breaking protocol or looking petty. That silence, critics argue, creates a situation where Harry and Meghan can share their perspective publicly, while the royal family stays mostly quiet. Some people compare it to a one-sided media battle where only one side speaks openly. Critics also point out that most families prefer to solve conflicts privately instead of publishing books, producing documentaries with Netflix, or giving interviews to Oprah Winfrey.
No more following Granny's rules.
You sure about that?
If I want to play polo in my living room, who's gonna stop me?
Stop that.
Right away, Megs.
Some argue private conversations behind closed doors often protect relationships better, but public storytelling can bring financial success and massive attention, especially when luxury lifestyles like Montecito living are involved.
Don't know how to break this to you, H. But if you weren't in the royal family, M wouldn't be with you.
Sharon has also compared the situation to her own family struggles, saying she had serious personal reasons to cut ties with her father before eventually repairing that relationship later in life. She explained her experiences involved betrayal and financial problems, which she described as deeply painful. Her story is often used by commentators to create contrast and spark debate about different family conflicts. Public critics frequently question Meghan's relationship with her father, Thomas Markle. Some reports claim he sold staged photos and gave interviews, which caused embarrassment and public tension.
Millions and millions I had to pay because my father got me in the crap. But the situation is, when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I went to him and took care of him because he's my father.
Supporters of Meghan argue those actions broke trust, while critics argue the fallout between them became extremely severe compared to the original conflict. Debate continues because different sides view the situation very differently. Some believe the family separation went too far, while others defend Meghan's right to protect her peace and privacy. The controversy grew even louder after celebrities and industry insiders began sharing opinions publicly, including conversations tied to events like the Golden Globe Awards, which kept the drama trending across Hollywood discussions.
Turns out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. And that's just by Netflix.
Joe Coy went all in with one of the sharpest roasts of the night, and the crowd reacted big time. The joke cut deep, pointing at how public drama around family relationships keeps turning into entertainment, and viewers seem glued to it as long as it keeps the spotlight hot. The moment landed hard because it touched a nerve that many people already whisper about, but rarely say out loud. Critics have also been loud about the massive deal with Netflix, calling it one of Hollywood's most controversial partnerships right now. The couple reportedly signed for huge money, and some commentators claim the project's focus too heavily on personal struggles instead of fresh storytelling.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I f***ing hate them.
Jo Koy called this out live during the Golden Globe Awards, and cameras caught audience members reacting in ways that suggested the jokes hit close to home. Then things escalated when Family Guy jumped into the conversation. The show created an entire animated scene mocking the couple, and that is usually a sign someone has become a pop culture talking point.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
When a long-running comedy show decides to spotlight celebrities like that, it often means they have crossed from respected public figures into full-blown satire territory. Commentators say the transformation from royal figures to regular targets of comedy happened extremely fast. Critics argue the couple accepted major paychecks while producing limited content, and at the same time continued speaking publicly about personal struggles, which made audiences more skeptical. Animated shows often exaggerate reality, but they also highlight how ridiculous certain situations can look when stripped of PR polish. Another major wave of awkward attention came when Trevor Noah revisited an old viral moment that still makes people uncomfortable whenever it resurfaces.
Prince Harry really did that. At a movie premiere last year, he asked the CEO of Disney to hook his wife up with voiceovers. Gotta admit, the monarchy has fallen off, right? No, because back in the day, it used to be like, if you marry my daughter, I'll give you Bergen. And now it's like, my wife actually does a pretty good Timon. You should hear her. Come on, baby, do the thing. Hakuna Matata, do the thing.
The clip showed Harry appearing at a movie event while discussing potential voiceover opportunities connected to the Walt Disney Company, and critics used it as an example of how dramatically his public role has changed. Some commentators compared the shift to earlier royal history, where marriages often created political alliances and strengthened entire kingdoms. Now critics joke that the focus has moved toward entertainment deals and media contracts, which many see as a shocking cultural downgrade that feels almost unreal.
Well, what's brilliant about what she's doing is she knows people want to spend money, and spending money makes them feel like they're getting something that's better, even though it might not necessarily be true.
Goddamn right.
You can tell when you watch the show, she thinks just we're all animals and we're all just kind of pigs in the mud, and that she's helping us with jam and honey.
Simon Cowell reportedly reacted to the situation in a very blunt style, choosing direct criticism instead of comedy, which made the conversation even more intense and uncomfortable for fans watching the whole drama unfold. Simon Cowell reportedly stopped playing nice and decided to seriously watch their full documentary on Netflix, hoping to finally understand their perspective.
They were complaining that to pay for their own security. They were not happy about that. Yeah, they were very worried about their safety, which I get that aspect of things after 6 episodes. I wanted to attack.
He approached it like a loyal viewer ready to listen carefully, expecting to see their full story explained clearly. But critics say that decision backfired fast and left him even more frustrated than before. Some commentators argue this is the pattern people keep noticing. They claim viewers often start with curiosity and open minds, wanting to hear both sides, but walk away feeling more disconnected from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle than they expected. Critics even say it is surprising how quickly public sympathy can flip into irritation when audiences feel overwhelmed by personal storytelling.
Describing this one date with Meghan as the night, let me quote you here, me and M pulled the pin on a fun grenade. I actually started rooting for Prince.
Supporters and critics alike agree the documentary touched on major topics like discrimination and misogyny, which many people believe deserve deep and respectful discussion. However, critics argue the serious issues sometimes got overshadowed by personal storytelling and romantic couple branding, which they say distracted from the bigger conversation and weakened the overall message. Some viewers joked online that the documentary became so frustrating, they started making exaggerated comments about wanting to be the security threat, showing how strongly it divided audience reactions. The reactions spread quickly across social media, turning emotional storytelling into viral debate and meme culture almost overnight. Then Jimmy Kimmel stepped into the spotlight when Harry's memoir broke records with Guinness World Records for fastest-selling non-fiction book. Instead of celebrating the achievement, Kimmel turned it into a parody segment that mocked the memoir on primetime television, showing how bold late-night comedy had become around royal controversies. Kimmel pushed even further by joking about Harry's image and personality.
By the way, they should hope that the kid looks more like Meghan than Harry. No offense, but Harry kind of looks like the guy who played Screech, may he rest in.
Using exaggerated comparisons designed to entertain audiences while turning the memoir into a full roast moment. The audience reaction made it clear the jokes landed loudly, adding even more pressure to Harry's already controversial media presence. The comedian also challenged the couple's public discussion about discrimination, pointing out the irony critics see in leaving royal life and moving to another country while still facing public debates. The jokes sparked huge laughter from the audience, but also fueled serious online arguments about whether the criticism crossed lines or simply reflected public skepticism. Critics claim Harry and Meghan's exit from royal duties triggered massive backlash after they openly accused royal insiders of discrimination. Some commentators argue this moment shifted Hollywood's tone completely, allowing more celebrities to openly criticize them instead of staying neutral. That momentum grew when Bill Maher joined the conversation with extremely direct criticism.
Want it both ways. You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us and poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want it.
Maher argued the couple sends mixed messages by asking for privacy while continuing frequent interviews and public appearances. He also pointed to their luxury lifestyle, questioning claims about financial struggles while living in multi-million-dollar estates. Maher's comments hit hard because they echoed what many viewers claim they have been thinking for years. Critics argue the biggest frustration comes from what they see as contradictions between public statements and visible lifestyle choices, which they believe makes the entire narrative harder for audiences to trust.
Just strike me as creatures of that generation. You know, you're just fragile. Just take a hint from the Queen, the recently departed.
Never complain, never explain, and rarely be heard speaking.
You're complaining about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous. I totally.
Some critics claim the issue goes beyond simple hypocrisy and argue it feels like public messaging that confuses audiences, especially when strong emotional language about mental health and compassion is used. Commentators say many viewers feel frustrated because they believe the messaging sometimes appears polished and positive on the surface, while deeper contradictions create mistrust among the public. The generational criticism also hit hard in public debates. Some commentators argue this reflects a larger cultural pattern where certain public figures are accused of presenting themselves as victims despite having massive privilege and influence. Critics claim this mindset can blur the line between genuine advocacy and emotional storytelling designed to gain sympathy, which keeps fueling heated online arguments. According to critics, some audiences believe constant focus on personal struggles is sometimes framed as activism, even when it does not always lead to real solutions or community support.
I think Harry's a f***ing twat. Like, my life was so hard. Everybody's f***ing life is hard.
Yeah,
you were
true.
the prince of a goddamn country who dressed up as a f***ing Nazi, and now you're trying to come back as the Pope? Suck it.
Damn!
These critics argue it can look like performative advocacy that draws attention, media deals, and financial opportunities, while supporters strongly disagree and say raising awareness still creates meaningful change. The clash between those views keeps the controversy alive and emotional. When Bill Maher publicly criticized the couple, many viewers saw it as a major turning point. Maher is often known for defending progressive causes, so his blunt criticism surprised audiences and sparked intense debate. Some commentators argued his reaction showed that even individuals expected to support the couple were becoming skeptical about their public messaging. Critics often highlight that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle live extremely wealthy lifestyles while speaking about hardship, which they say creates a disconnect with everyday struggles faced by regular families.
Meg does her little phony, like, I'm so busy just doing like so much wealthy stuff. I have the show, the podcast, I'm a duchess, I have all this wealth. It's just so many busy things as a wealthy person.
So busy?
It was so fake. I was like, oh.
Meanwhile, supporters argue financial success does not cancel out emotional or social challenges, which keeps the public conversation divided and intense. Comedian Godfrey also stepped into the debate and directly challenged the couple's public narrative. He questioned Meghan's surprise about conversations regarding discrimination inside the royal family, arguing that some questions could come from cultural differences rather than malicious intent.
Wait, the whitest family on the planet, the original motherfuckers.
His comments triggered strong reactions from both supporters and critics, making the controversy even louder. Godfrey also criticized Meghan's interview with Jamie Kern-Lima, saying it reinforced a public image of overwhelming responsibility and pressure. Critics claimed the interview highlighted luxury lifestyles, busy schedules, and royal branding in ways that made audiences question authenticity, while supporters defended Meghan's right to share her personal experience and professional challenges. Public chatter even extended to social settings, including reports of Meghan visiting wellness spaces like yoga studios, where critics claimed her presence sometimes attracted intense attention and media focus.
Is this true? Meghan Markle has ruined your workout regime. Is this true? If so,
Yes, she has. We have places in LA and New York, but now that she went there, everyone's going to want to go there.
Right.
And there's not going to be any room. It's going to be harder to get in.
Supporters argued this reflects celebrity culture overall, rather than individual behavior, but critics insisted it shows how every public appearance can quickly turn into headline drama. The criticism eventually reached John Oliver, who usually avoids personal celebrity controversies. When Oliver commented, his tone shocked viewers because he suggested the couple seemed locked into patterns that might be difficult to change.
I don't think they will change because I don't think they have the capacity to, but they obviously should.
His remarks sparked huge reactions online, with supporters calling the criticism unfair, while critics treated it as confirmation that public patience around the controversy continues to fade. Some critics say the public backlash has gone way beyond simple mistakes and moved into harsh territory where commentators describe the couple as impossible to repair in the public eye. That kind of statement is extremely severe, and it shows just how intense the media conversation has become. The British satire show Spitting Image, which has mocked politicians and celebrities for decades, jumped into the controversy and portrayed them in a way that many viewers found brutally embarrassing across the UK.
In California, we're just a regular couple living close to Oprah and far from the paparazzi. Woo! But not too far.
The satire included jokes suggesting the couple carefully balances their connections with Oprah Winfrey to maintain credibility, while also staying close to paparazzi attention to keep their fame strong. Critics claim the show portrayed their public moves as overly strategic rather than natural, which fueled even more online debate and divided audience opinions. Then the conversation turned darker when comedians started discussing uncomfortable hypothetical scenarios involving King Charles III and the royal succession. Some comedians mentioned the shocking possibility of tragic events affecting Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, suggesting it could unexpectedly place Harry and Meghan closer to royal leadership. The topic shocked audiences because it touches on sensitive family and national concerns that most people avoid discussing publicly. Comedian Nikki Glaser then delivered one of the most aggressive roast performances about the couple.
If she didn't marry him, she would be on The Bachelor this season. Fighting for Prince. She would be Megan M. from Sherman Oaks barista. She's just not one.
She joked that Meghan's fame is deeply connected to Harry's royal status and claimed her career might have followed a very different path without that relationship. Critics described the roast as extremely harsh because it suggested alternative reality show appearances like Dancing with the Stars or Celebrity Big Brother as hypothetical career directions. The comedy escalated when Stephen Colbert joined the discussion on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. He joked about Meghan appearing unprepared for royal traditions, including references to formal etiquette like bowing to Queen Elizabeth II.
Marrying the monarchy, what did you think it was going to be like?
Well, I didn't do any research about what that would mean.
You didn't do any research?
No. I've never looked up my husband online.
What? Let me introduce this thing called Google, okay? Over there, I think it's called Lori. It's full of useful information. For instance, turns out your husband knew Princess Di. That might have been a hint that this was going to be a rough game.
Colbert framed the situation as exaggerated comedy, suggesting her unfamiliarity with royal life created awkward and highly entertaining public moments. Colbert pushed the joke further by pretending to assign Meghan a humorous research list of royal family members to study, including Harry himself. Critics described this segment as both funny and brutal because it highlighted public claims that she misunderstood royal responsibilities before marriage. The comedic tone made the criticism spread quickly online and sparked huge reactions across social media platforms. Then, comedian Tim Dillon entered the conversation with his famously extreme style. Dillon compared Meghan to characters often seen in dramatic reality television, suggesting her public life mirrors high-drama entertainment culture filled with emotional storylines and constant media attention. His commentary described the situation as a celebrity lifestyle driven by cameras, personal storytelling, and public sympathy, which sparked strong reactions from both supporters and critics.
Harry is an idiot. He signed up to fight in the Afghanistan war. That was a dumb move. You're a fucking prince. What are you doing that shit?
The overall controversy shows how comedy has become one of the loudest spaces where public figures face direct and unfiltered criticism. Supporters argue the couple is unfairly targeted, while critics say comedians are simply reflecting what large parts of the audience already believe, keeping the debate intense and impossible to ignore. Some critics argue Meghan Markle never really changed her public style or media strategy. They just believe the platform became bigger and more expensive. They claim she moved from traditional television exposure to global streaming attention through Netflix, while still relying on heavy personal storytelling and high drama. Critics describe it as the same spotlight-driven image, only now wrapped in royal branding and luxury presentation, which they say keeps audiences divided and talking non-stop. Another controversial claim often raised by critics involves Prince Harry and his military service in Afghanistan. Some harsh commentators argue his deployment was partly viewed through a public relations lens meant to strengthen his image and public connection. Supporters strongly reject this criticism, pointing out that military service involves real danger and sacrifice. The argument remains one of the most emotionally charged debates surrounding his past, showing how polarizing public perception of Harry has become. Critics also highlight what they describe as a contrast between his wartime experiences and his current life in California, claiming his public discussions about personal trauma clash with his extremely wealthy lifestyle. These commentators argue the contradiction creates skepticism among audiences, while supporters continue defending his right to speak openly about mental health struggles regardless of social status. The divide between those viewpoints keeps fueling endless online arguments. Many comedians have shifted from light celebrity jokes toward far more aggressive criticism, suggesting the couple hides behind powerful public relations teams and carefully managed statements. Critics describe these attacks as no longer simple entertainment but sharp character critiques, which dramatically raises the stakes of public commentary. The conversation took a darker turn when Jimmy Carr raised a deeply uncomfortable hypothetical involving the royal succession and King Charles III. He mentioned how unexpected tragedies affecting Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, and their family could suddenly move Harry closer to the throne. The idea shocked audiences because it highlights how royal succession can change instantly under extreme circumstances. Some critics argue that possibility transforms comedy into something far more serious, raising fears about leadership and global representation. Public debate intensified because Meghan previously described certain royal traditions involving Queen Elizabeth II as emotionally difficult, while Harry has openly discussed private royal conflicts in media projects. Critics claim these factors make the scenario feel even more controversial and unsettling for traditional royal supporters. Supporters, however, argue the couple simply chose independence and personal freedom, and they should not be judged by hypothetical situations or exaggerated comedy. The debate continues because the royal line of succession remains a real constitutional system, meaning public opinion about future leadership still sparks strong reactions worldwide. So now the spotlight turns to you. Do you think comedians are crossing the line, or are they saying things others are afraid to discuss? Drop your thoughts in the comments, keep the conversation alive, hit that like button, and subscribe to Crown Clash, because a brand new royal drama breakdown drops every single day.